Welcome back, everybody. My name is Abby. Today we're going to do a workout focused on the core and the spine. And it's going to be a slow and steady workout. It's not going to be too much huffing and puffing or getting out of breath, but it's going to focus on creating a really strong, stable center of the body. So core, front, sides, and back, as well as back strength. You won't need any props except for perhaps a blanket, just to give yourself some padding. So I'm going to take a blanket and slide that onto my mat. And when you're ready, we'll start out on our backs and do some dead bugs, or as I like to call them, Kara's abs, because my friend Kara taught them to me. So we're going to start with our hands reaching towards the sky, feet on the ground. Pelvis is going to rock backwards. I'm going to scoop my pubic bone towards my low ribs, engaging my vertical abs. And then I'm going to lift one foot at a time. And as I lift my feet, I'm going to press my low back into the ground. So I feel a strong engagement, vertical abs, pubic bone towards low ribs, and then strong engagement of hip points drawing towards each other. And then I'm going to hold this just for a couple more breaths. I'm going to do my best to relax my head and my neck, even though my arms and shoulders are a little bit active. I want my face, neck, and throat to be relaxed. All right, and then I'm going to release that. Take some good deep breaths. Let your belly relax again. And then we'll do the same thing again. So I'm going to start by tilting pubic bone to low ribs, drawing them towards each other. Feel my low back press to the ground. Reach my arms towards the sky. And then keeping my low back pressing towards the ground, I'm going to lift my one foot and then my second foot. And in addition to thinking about drawing pubic bone and low ribs towards each other, I'm thinking about pulling my hip points, the bony parts of the front of my pelvis, also towards each other. So super strong engagement in your belly, pressing the low back really firmly into the ground. And then again, doing my best to relax my head and my neck, and even relax my legs. So my hip flexors are going to do some work, keeping my legs lifted. But in general, I want to be able to kind of like jiggle and jelly the legs. Just like a spooky zombie. Okay, and then relax that. Take a couple breaths, let your belly release. And then we're going to move into hand to knee press. So I'm going to take my right hand, my right knee, ground through my left foot, tilt my pelvis back again, pressing my low back gently towards the ground, maybe not quite as firmly as I did with dead bug. And then I'm going to press the hand and the knee into each other, feeling my belly muscles get even firmer. You probably will also feel your hip flexors engage and some muscles around the shoulders engage. That's totally fine. But see if you can also, and perhaps primarily, feel the muscles in your belly. And take another couple breaths. Head, neck, and jaw relaxed. And then release that. And we'll come right into the second side. The right foot stays down as the left hand and the left thigh, just above the knee, meet. Pelvis tilts back just a bit. Low back is pressing towards the ground, but not too vehemently. And then press the hand and the knee against each other. Fire up your belly muscles. And notice again, if the hip flexors and the shoulders are engaged, that's fine, but try to really highlight the abdominals. Make the core the star of the show. Hip flexors and shoulders are supporting cast members. Take another couple breaths and checking in with the rest of your body. Let your face and neck and head be relaxed. And then release that. We'll do the same thing again, each side. Press the hand and the knee against each other. Feeling your belly engage. And do what feels good with your low spine. If it feels good to press the low back really firmly towards the ground, you can. For some of us, it might actually feel even better to have a little bit of an arch under the low back. but still engage the abdominals. That's a little bit harder, a little bit subtler, but sometimes it can feel good for the low back. And then release that side. Same thing again. Left hand meets left knee. Press against each other. Decide if it feels better to have a little bitty arch under your low spine, or if it feels better to press the low back down. Stay grounded through the right foot. Stay pretty relaxed through the head and neck and the muscle in the face. And then release that. Take a moment, give your legs a little wiggle. And we'll do a similar thing, but now going across the body. So now getting a little bit more into the obliques, the rotational muscles. So I'm going to lift my right foot again, but this time take my left hand to meet my right thigh and press against each other. And I find it easier to find that engagement at first, pressing my low back towards the ground, just as I did in dead bug. And then really engaging those twisting muscles. So I feel a line of strength or engagement from my right hip up to my left low ribs, and also between my right hip and my right low ribs. Oh yeah, that is good stuff. Okay, release that side. Same thing, other side. Right hand and left knee meet and press against each other. Low back can press towards the ground. Try to tune into that line of strength between left hip and right low ribs. Keep the breath moving. Keep the face and neck pretty relaxed. And then release again. Same thing on each side. Left hand and right knee meet. Press against each other. And again, decide if it feels better to press the low back really firmly down or to maintain a little bit of an arch. Either one is totally fine. Just either way, try to tune into the oblique strength, the muscles in the belly, and particularly going diagonally across the belly. And then release that side. Same thing, other side again. Right hand, left knee. Press and hold. Still breathing, still staying soft through the neck and the face. And then release that. And give the legs a little wiggle, maybe a little twisty side to side. And then we'll take a bridge pose. So taking the arms down by the sides, bending the elbows. You could walk the shoulder blades a little towards each other. And then press the feet and the upper arms down, lift the hips towards the ceiling. They don't have to lift as high as they possibly can, just enough to feel your butt strength and your back strength, and probably some leg strength. Couple breaths here. Belly can be pretty soft here. We're tuning more into the strength of the back body in this shape. And then slowly coming back down. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll do that whole set one more time. So starting with dead bug, tilting a pubic bone to low ribs, feeling your belly muscles ignite, especially vertical belly muscles. Arms are going to reach up towards the sky. And I'm going to lift one foot at a time, keeping my low back really strongly pressing into the ground. And then if you can, tune into not only the strength of the vertical abs as pubic bone tilts to low ribs, but also horizontal abs as hip points draw towards each other. Couple more breaths here. Checking in with the legs. Make sure you can Give those a little jiggle so it's not all about the hip flexors. Check in with the head and the neck. See if you can give that a little shake so it's not all about the neck muscles. And then release that down. Take a couple breaths. And then same thing once more. Pubic bone tilts towards low ribs. Hands reach towards the sky. Low back presses towards the ground, and then lifting one foot and then 2 feet. Still pressing the low back down, not only tilting pubic bone to low ribs, but also drawing hip points towards each other. So vertical and horizontal abs, super strong. Hands are just kind of reaching up and holding an imaginary ball between them. Legs could give a little jiggle, making sure they're not overly engaged. Head and neck can move a little bit, making sure they're not stiff or too engaged. And then release that again and take a couple breaths. And then right hand meets right knee. We'll press the hand and the knee against each other again, firing up your belly. And if it helps to press your low back really firmly towards the ground, you can. If it feels better to keep a little space between the low spine, a little arch in the low spine, you can go that route, still engaging into your belly. A couple more breaths. And then release that side. Same thing, other side. Left hand and left knee meet. Pressing the hand and the knee against each other. Low back can press towards the ground, or you can keep a little space. And either way, feel strengthening and toning of your belly muscles, the front side of the core. And then release once more to each side. Right hand meets right knee. Press and hold. Keep the breath moving. See if you can breathe maybe up a little higher into the chest, especially if your belly feels more constricted. Stay grounded through the left foot. And then release. Same thing, other side. Left hand, left knee. Press and hold. Stay grounded through the right foot, long through the spine. Soft through the face, the neck and the head. And then release. And give the legs a little wiggle side to side. Let your belly relax. And then same thing, but taking opposite hand to knee. So right foot lifts, left hand and right knee meet. Press against each other. Feel your belly, especially your obliques, engage. Low back again can press firmly towards the ground if that helps, if that feels good, or you can keep a little space between low back and ground. And then release, same thing, other side. Right hand meets left knee. Press and hold, your choice what to do with the low back, to press it down or to keep a little arch. And release once more to each side, and then we're done. Left hand and right thigh press. Root through your left foot. Stay relaxed through the head and the back of the heart, even as you find that strong engagement in the obliques. And then release. Right hand meets left knee. Press and hold. Check in with the rest of the body. Grounded right foot. grounded pelvis, either a slightly arched spine or low spine presses down. Back of the heart and the head are heavy. Obliques are strong. And then release. So do what feels intuitive with the legs. If you want to sway them a little bit side to side, stretch them out. And then we'll take one more bridge pose. So when you're ready, bending both knees, arms down by the sides, bend the elbows, press down through the feet and the upper arms, lift the hips. And again, you don't have to lift the hips super duper high, just high enough to feel some engagement in the back body. And then release. And then we'll just take a quick cycle of the legs. So right knee towards your chest, left leg extends, just to stretch out the hip flexor muscles that we engaged pretty strongly. And switch to the other side, left knee in, right leg lengthens. Give the right hip flexors a stretcheroo. And then come up and out. And then anything that your body is craving, feel free to do that before you close out. Maybe it's just kind of shaking around, shaking the arms and legs. Maybe it's taking some seated or reclined twists. Sometimes a good twist can feel nice after a lot of core work, provided you don't have a fully fused spine. So take your time and do what you want to cool down. And may your core and your spine carry you through with strength and integrity. I'll see you soon.